Hello there. A friend of mine brought me around a microphone to repair for them, and I've fixed it and sorted it all out. But I thought I'd explain a little bit about microphones because they're getting far more common in school. Great, though that is. But there's a couple of little tricks that I think might be worth passing on about how to get the best out of a microphone and get the best equipment you can for your money that's going to last a long time. So let's just have a look inside this little thing and try and explain a little bit about what's going on, and hopefully give you a bit more information. Hi, well here's the microphone that I was asked to repair. It's a Behringer. Now, I'm not a big fan of Behringers. It feels really light and it is really quite cheap. The casing, I don't know whether you can see, but the casing has been bent over. The windshield at the top, this cap which covers the capsule, has been pushed over, and I think that's looks like it's been dropped, and I think that's a really common thing to happen in school. It's been dropped and it's bent and it's broke, and if you take the top off, which you do by unscrewing, it's still a bit bent. There is still a slight angle to it. This is a metal casing, but that's still managed to bend just a little bit, and these two cables which connect to the capsule would actually come off. I've soldered them back on and the microphone works again now, but there you go, that's what happened. One drop and it's broken. So not a great indictment of the Behringer. Behringer is cheap and cheerful, and it'll last you a long time if you look after it really, really carefully, and that is very hard in a school environment, particularly when you've got people doing the Britain's Got Talent dance with these things. The mic often breaks up here. It's a really common repair. Funnily enough, the switch is quite solid and the connectors are quite solid as well, but you can easily replace them by undoing the screw and pulling the connector out of the back, just an ordinary XLR connector at the bottom. Teachers tend to buy microphones on price, not sound quality, and also on they don't really consider robustness, and that's, I think, is a mistake, because these microphones, Behringers, although they're really, really cheap, it will only last you a term, which is a shame, because they do you need to get more money, more value out of your capitation, I think. So it's fixed and it now works, and if you've got someone in school who can wield a soldering iron, you should be able to keep something like that going for a bit anyway. I want to bring to your attention, though, a different microphone. I want to bring to this one. Loads of teachers have got their own favourites. This one is upside down, do beg your pardon. This one, the Sennheiser range, is a very solid and more professional range. But the E on the serial number there stands for Evolution, which is their budget range. And the Evolution range of Sennheiser microphones often are their professional range sold in a budget package. So this microphone actually came in a plastic case with a very, very cheap and nasty cable on, and a very, very cheap price. If you bought the equivalent mic from their professional range, you would have had to pay considerably more to get a Sennheiser microphone. So this is what I think is the better microphone to get. It's going to give you a lot longer life. Those cables, it's a lot more solid, you still unscrew it the same way, but there's no white cables. It's all been moulded in and is a lot more solid and isn't going to damage if you do drop it. So it's going to have more life in a school, I think, if it is going to get treated by the Britain's Got Talent crowd. Now, if you want to put prices to these things, it's quite interesting, I think. You can get a Behringer 3 for £25. You can get them in a packs of 3 for £25, and I did see them individually priced for £16 each, but you can get 3 for £25, which is very cheap, really, really quite cheap and really quite nasty. But I can understand why people would buy for cheapness. I don't think you should, though. But you might be surprised if I was to say that the Sennheiser, here she is, £30, which is a lot cheaper than I think you were thinking it was going to be. I know microphones can be a lot more expensive than that, but I bet you thought the Sennheiser was going to be a lot more. And they are competing with the SM58 microphone, which is the industry standard dynamic microphone that looks like this, made by Shure. The SM58, £91 at the moment. I don't think they're worth it at £91 at all. Much rather get the Sennheiser. So there you go. Look after the microphones. Don't drop them. do consider robustness and solid construction and sound quality rather than cheapness, and it'll give you a lot more life.